Yo folks, and welcome to the channel. My name is Bork. In today's video, we'll be talking about Awaken Chaos Era, my first impressions, tier list, rerolls, and all that stuff. Go ahead and jump right into this. First things being is the reroll. So as soon as you jump into the game, you want to get this stage 2-8. Yes, it's going to be a little bit far. It takes roughly 30 minutes to an hour, depending on how fast you can click and get through everything. And just note, this game is pretty easy as far as like the first couple of stages goes. It gets more complicated. It has like a different system when you're placing characters. Just note, like if you place them in different areas, it doesn't really matter. We'll talk about like, hey, which characters you need as you're going through the game, but get the stage 2-8 so you can unlock the rookie summons as you guys saw earlier, and that's essentially a way to get your initial like multis going. You can do like a couple of single summons, but in my opinion, it's not really worth it. As you can see, I have the game on auto right now. We're fighting this gigantic boss. You have 3 skills. It's very reminiscent of games like acefb. This is like their ult, right? So we cast this skill. It's going to be on a cooldown if you don't kill the boss. If you do kill the boss, then you have no worries whatsoever. I like this game mostly because of the fact that, you know, it has like defense downs. It has very classic systems. It doesn't do anything different as far as like, hey, the gameplay, or like things that are, oh, is this going to blow me out of the water as far as complexity. If you played any turn-based gacha, you kind of have the gist for this one. There's defense downs, there's poisons, dots, all sorts of different things. You can level up your characters, there's gear sets, very reminiscent to acefb. I feel like if you've played acefb, if you ever wanted like a westernized version of it, you'll definitely get it here. Like there's passive skills that makes it like you're immune to certain things, or you can get attack buffs. It's very reminiscent to like, hey, is there going to be speed modifiers and all these sort of complicated things that you would be very used to. The only difference is graphically it looks like WoW or something that's, you know, very different from waifu centered or anime focused games. And there is an audience for this. I think it's just very niche. It's very difficult to sort of get into, especially for my audience. But I wanted to just talk about this game and where I think it sort of shines and where it doesn't. Where it doesn't shine, in my opinion, is sort of being like that gameplay that's going to be like entirely intrusive of, oh, you need to pay attention to the moment-to-moment gameplay. I think if you're like someone who's very competitive in the PvP scene in Arena, then you'll definitely have like a lot of like stuff to chew on as far as like this game goes. There's trials, there's towers, there's a lot of content to go through this game. There's a lot of iterations. It's gone through beta. It has an upgrade system that's also similar to Genshin as far as it handles its dupe system. Is the dupe system like aggressive? In some ways, I would say yes, but in other ways, it's not to the point where like you need it in order to get through the story. Later on, obviously, like in harder aspects, you will need it, but this is where you don't use legendary characters or the highest rated characters, and you use like lower rarities, which are definitely useful. So you can get through the game as a free-to-play using certain characters, just don't use the legendaries. This boss fight is actually taking us a while, and I am sort of using tactics when it comes to this. Like I'm using defense breaks, I am using my ult at the very end, so it's not like I'm mindlessly doing this. For like the first half of the game, you can mindlessly, you know, go through the bosses and defeat the enemies. I guess for this part, when you get to 2-8, you can sort of think about it, but if you want to power through it, technically you could just level all your characters to like level 15 or something and you'd have no issues. But there we go, we beat the boss right there, and I would say this was pretty entertaining. If you're looking for something different though, as far as like gameplay goes and like complex systems, I don't think this is for you. It brings a lot of the same things of the genre when it comes to turn-based RPGs, and it puts a different spin on the way it looks graphically. And like a lot of the gear, like I said, very reminiscent to acefb. So if you've ever wanted a game like this, now is definitely your time. So we've unlocked the rookie summons. You go right here, you hit summon, and then there you go. It's not like a selector. You have 5 times that you can summon. So as you can see here, this little dragon dude will slot like the little stone into the summon mechanism, and I think if you get like the yellow energy sparks, then that means there's a legendary hero. This one, we got Valeria. She's not really that good, so that's gonna be our first stage right there, and then it keeps going until we have done all 5 of our summons. Can we get like, all right, I really don't want like any of the legendaries in my opinion. Oh, I wanted like epic summons. These are like the purple ones are epic, but mostly because they're a lot more approachable, they're easier to upgrade. You know, I have more chances to essentially get those characters. And notice how we're only getting 5 characters and not like 10, because technically this is only a 5x5. Oh my goodness, these summons are really terrible. I'm not even getting a decent legendary out of this one, nor a decent epic. I guess I could have gotten one of the characters because waifu reasons. Those epics suck too. Please give me something good. Can it at least be, I forget his name, what is it, like Triunculus or something? It's an epic character. Zatlux. I wanted it. Oh my gosh. All right, so I'm gonna have to reroll this account again. Technically, I had a better account the first time. If I were to look at all of these, technically speaking, none of them are that great. All of them are kind of eh. I mean, I'll get this character because she's a waifu and she was also on the thumbnail. Like, look at her. Like, this little dragon bops his head on the screen and oh my goodness, she looks wonderful. So I'm gonna like select this account just because of waifu purposes. But here's going to be a tier list by Ayumi Love. I like this one because it's quite detailed. If you select one of the characters, you can actually get all the infographics and all the different characters. But I also created a Google spreadsheet in case you're like, hey, you know, can I get like a quick synopsis on better characters? Here are gonna be a couple of them. Avera, you know, Mythicia, she's gonna be a really good healer. You can get Blackhorn somehow. I'm not sure if he's available on the 5x5, but he would be really good. I would honestly aim for a support like Brand or Blackhorn and not really go for DPS because the best DPS as a free-to-play is gonna be this character Zatlux. I was actually looking at him. We can look at him later. Or you can get one of these epic characters. If you get 2 of these epic characters, I think that's a better role than getting legendaries, just because it's going to be really difficult to upgrade. But as far as everything goes, let's talk about the upgrade system. So we're going to go with this account. Yeah, I know the rest of the groups, you don't essentially get them. Just so you guys know, it's just essentially like a weak version of the selector. I wish you had like more versions to essentially go through, and I don't know. We'll see how it goes. If I really want to play this game more, maybe I'll reroll another account. And then you have like a 1 free summon that you can get, so maybe we get something cool here. Please be Zatlux, that would be really amazing. Or no, that's just gonna be a blue summon right there. All right, that's gonna be him. Well, we got 3 more summons left. All right, let's go ahead and input some codes just so you guys can sort of see it. So yeah, it throws a pack at you, but you can really just ignore it. And there we go. So in case you don't want your account really quick, you just go into your settings, you go into account, and then you can hit data reset right here, and then it'll reset your account. Like, you'll go to level 1, it does everything. And then if you go redemption code right here, and then go ahead and enter these, I'll leave some codes down in the description. And then like some of these, you'll note that you can only unlock them after you have hit a certain level. So when it says like ineedadoctor, you need to be level 5. In case you're wondering, how come I can't input this code? But let's go ahead and put these in really quick. And just know it's not case sensitive, and you can put this in for every single new account that you roll for. Are you gonna get any summons out of this? You get like some weak summons. It's not like godly summons. I'll show you what I'm talking about. Hello 100, that's like the one I think where you get like a bunch of free skippable rolls. Go ahead and hit confirm. So here's gonna be the stuff. That one's gonna be some EXP card. I don't think you should use that at the beginning. And then the summoning crystals, I guess that's like the funnest one. Do not use your foody. It's like Epic 7 where you raise wolves. That's like essentially the wolf sort of equivalent in some ways. So what do I mean by that? Let's just go into the foody. So if you go right here and then you essentially go into details, you can upgrade him, right? And then once he gets to level 30, let's just do it for the sake of the video. Don't do this on your initial time. Oh my gosh, I can't even do it. You essentially can upgrade these bad boys. Let me show you what I'm talking about. You go here into the summons, right? Remember how I was like, oh, I got like 100 normal summons. You do a summon 10 by 10. This is essentially fodder. We're very familiar with the system, and you can essentially summon them. And then let's go ahead and go back. Can I hopefully upgrade one of those fodder to like level 10? There we go, 10. And then you can promote them. This is very similar to like the Epic 7 sort of system. You promote them, and this is essentially how you will promote characters to higher ranks. It's like walking your dog. It's the exact same system. So in case you want to promote your 2 stars, you know, like these guys, or the initial characters that you get, or maybe the legendary character that you got, like Hydresia, which is not great, but she's a fantastic waifu, you can upgrade her to 4-star using fodder, like these guys. So that's like some tips in case you want to get more into the game. And then as far as like other things goes, there is going to be sort of like a class system in the sense where you want your healer, DPS, tank, and then you don't want to run a full group of DPS because that's highly inefficient. But in case you guys are wondering, that's like sort of the gist when it comes to Awaken Chaos Era. And also there's huge improvements as far as like the initial game. Look at Tia, like the Freeze Queen right here, and then we'll look at what she looks like now. So we unlock the index, you can see like all the different characters. I think this is Tia, right? Yeah, look at her now. Oh my goodness. she looks so epic compared to her initial design. Man, absolutely stunning compared to like at least this screenshot that I had earlier. So there has been improvements over like the different parts of the game, and the most badass technical epic character, the one that you really want, is going to be Zatlux right here. He actually looks really cool, very different from, you know, his initial profile picture design. And if you look at his skills, you get like speed up on his essentially S1, and then his S2 grants 30% crit rate and precision, and then his S3 does 200% damage. The fewer enemies on the board, more bonus damage dealt, and if he kills someone, he also launches a bonus attack against the enemy with the lowest HP, and you can essentially spam this on 2 turns once it gets to level 6. So this guy is an absolute beast for free-to-plays, and I highly recommend him. He's going to be like your go-to DPS, and yeah, I think you'll be pretty good using mostly epic characters. But these are my first impressions when it comes to Awaken Chaos Era. It's not really throwing packs in your face. It's not a complicated game. If you've played any turn-based RPG, you'll be very used to it. It has like your dungeon system. No Man's Land is essentially like your elemental area. There's going to be gear farming. You can see there's a void tower. There's like bounty hunting. And of course, there's your arena. You can get your PvP on. And then of course, there's like guilds and stuff. And there's some other extra systems. You know, there's quests and everything. And one more thing that I want to showcase in case you guys are like, oh, I'm not getting enough of these summon currencies or just currencies in general. If you go into adventure, then you pretty much like hit the minus button right here. Okay, that's cool. Is it gonna say that I need to go to chapter 3 now? The story in this game, you know, it's decent. You know, you're finding orcs and all these different factions, and it's just like, yeah, it's very standard sort of game. I feel like if I actually read the story, it'd be pretty good, because I feel like the dev team spent a lot of time and a lot of care. Like the initial character, like the red hair that you get, she looks very different from the initial alpha phases from what I remember. All right, you guys can talk a lot. Yeah, there's a lot of text. So I'm assuming the lore is kind of heavy, but let's go ahead and go back into adventure so I can just show you guys what I was talking about. You go into chapter 2 and then you hit chapter details. Don't forget to claim this stuff right here, because that's going to be how you get a lot of like the free gems throughout the game as you're running through it. And then essentially you can go back here into summons, and let's say you want to, you know, get more of like the advanced crystals, you hit confirm, you can essentially buy some more. Let's go ahead and just summon for the last bits of the video. Hopefully we can get Zatlux, and I might keep this account. Honestly, like a decent epic support would be really cool too. No, we got Vut. He looks like a pirate guy. I just want an epic. I'm not even asking for a legendary. 4 summons. Let's go. Third one or second one. Oh, Freya. I mean, she looks kind of cool. Different character, please. Por favor. Something cool. Zatlux. I'm not asking for much, game. Just something decent, please. No, Marion. Oh, hey, she a waifu. That's what I like about this game, you know? Like a lot of the characters, when there's a waifu in this game, there's a waifu. We got a tree. I didn't want a tree, but I guess at least I got to show off this character. She's kind of like my most favorite design character as far as like everyone else goes, just because she's all cutesy and stuff. Yeah, these are my first impressions, rerolls, tier list, and all these different things. I enjoy this game. I feel like it brings something different to the table. I just want to showcase this in case you guys are, you know, tired of like your anime-esque sort of style. But if you made it this far in today's video, consider subscribing, dropping a like, leaving a comment. Follow me on Twitch, follow me on Twitter. Once we hit 30,000 subs, we're doing a giveaway. Thanks so much for watching. Have yourself a fantastic day. Thanks again to Yumi Love for posting this information. Hopefully this helps you out on your journey to Awaken Chaos Era with the codes. And I will see you guys in the next one.